What's up everyone? My name is Marian from Student Aesthetics, and today I'm going to share a legs push-pull routine with y'all. The legs push-pull routine is a great routine for lifters that want to go to the gym pretty often, around 5 to 6 times a week, and make a lot of progress. This is a high frequency split, meaning you will hit your body parts twice a week or almost twice a week. Compare this to a bro split where you hit all your muscles once a week. This is way more effective for natural lifters. If you want to know more reasons why, then please click this video right here and it will explain. So the legs push-pull routine basically means that you will have 3 different days. You will have the leg day, which will train your quads, hams, and calves, your whole lower body, and we will also do abs on that day. On the push day, you will hit your pushing muscles. So that means chest, shoulders, the front delt and side delt, because your shoulder is part of 3 heads. We will do the rear delt on our pull day. On our push day, we'll also do triceps. So we basically put all the muscles together that are used when you're doing pushing exercises. On your pull day, you're doing the opposite. You're doing the muscles that work when you're pulling. So you're doing back, biceps, and rear delts, and traps. And that's why this routine is so optimal for hitting everything high frequency while still recovering properly, because all those muscles, they work together, so they will have equal rest time to recover. If you're used to doing a split where you have like Monday chest day, Tuesday back day, etc., the same days every week, this can be a little bit different, because the usual setup is day 1 legs, day 2 push, day 3 pull, then take a rest day and repeat. So if you do the math, every week you will have different days in which you train. I personally do 6 days on, so instead of day 4 rest, I do repeat already, and then I train 6 days in a row, and then I take 1 day off. But I do not recommend that to anyone who hasn't been lifting for multiple years, because it's pretty stressing on your body. And this routine is not for beginners. If you haven't been lifting for at least a year, you definitely want to do full body 3 times a week. Why? Because it will give you even more gains, okay? When you're advanced, it probably won't. But if you're a beginner, you want to hit your muscles as frequently as possible. And with this split, you can only hit your muscles twice a week. But with full body work, you can hit them 3 times a week. If you're a beginner, that's a greater way to make progress, and also to really get to know the compound lifts, which is very important as a beginner. You do not want to mess around too much with isolation exercises, which we do on this split. And the legs push-pull routine I'm showing you is actually a power building split. What this will mean is you will combine power training, so very low reps, heavy explosive movements, with more hypertrophy style training. And the reason this is so effective is that as a natural lifter, it's very important to get stronger on exercises. A lot of people train for the pump, so to speak, but that's not effective as a natural lifter. Progressive overload is what will make you grow, what will make your muscles grow. And progressive overload basically means overloading your muscles with more resistance than before. You can either do this with adding more weight to your lift, adding more reps, adding more sets with the same weight. So basically putting more stress on the muscle that it had before, and your muscle will get a signal that it has to grow because it has to keep up with that weight you're moving or that shorter rest time you're taking or whatever. So that is the most optimal way for a natural athlete to go about it, and that's why power training is a very important aspect of a natural lifter's routine. So how this basically works, we have 3 different days, but we actually have 6 different days. Because on the first 3 days, you will do different exercises than the next 3 days, all right? And on every day, you will start off with a compound lift. Compound lifts are the most important to progress on because they use multiple muscles. And because we put those pushing muscles all together, they will stimulate the whole pushing area just with one exercise, as well as with the pull and the legs. So on every day, we'll do a compound lift as your first exercise, and that will be 5 sets of 5 reps. So that is the power movement of the day. And after that, we'll move on to the hypertrophy style training, where we do more like 3 or 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps to really create that muscle stimulus. And I found that this has given the greatest gains in myself as well as with my clients. It's very important to get stronger, and that's why we want to progress every single training session. So that's why you want to take a notebook with you when you're training, or just put it in your cell phone. There are apps for it. And just write down the amount of weights you'll be using. And next week, add 5 pounds or so. So you will make gains every single week. And this is also why it's very important to start off with a lighter weight than you actually can move. Because you want to do 5 sets of 5 reps with the same weight without going to failure. Okay, you don't want to go to failure when you're training for strength. That's absolutely not the way you want to do it. So you want to be able to complete 5 sets of 5 reps while still having something left in the tank. On the 5th set, you want to actually be pretty exhausted, but you still want to finish that set. So I recommend starting off with 85% of your 1 rep max for the 5x5 sets. So before you start this routine, you can try out your 1 rep max for those compound lifts. Or you can simply use a 1 rep max calculator, and you can also put in like how much weight you use for 10 reps, and it'll calculate how much you would use at 85% of your 1 rep max. So that's your starting point. And yes, that will probably be pretty easy, but then you want to increase the weight every single training, and you don't want to increase it with too much. You want to be able to do the weight pretty easily so you can progress every single week, because progressing is what makes your muscles grow. Not going as hard as you possibly can and failing every training. As far as the rest time goes, on those compound lifts, the 5x5, you want to take 3 to 5 minutes of rest between the sets. Probably 3, but sometimes a little bit more. It kind of depends on how you feel that day. And you can also track your rest time and decrease it or increase it and use more weight to apply that progressive overload with the rest time. And after that lift, we're moving on to the hypertrophy style training, so the 8 to 12 rep range. And in those rep ranges, we will use 1 to 2 minutes of rest in between sets. As for caps and abs, it's a maximum of 1 minute rest. So like I said, training the failure on the 5x5 lift is a no-no. You can train the failure on those hypertrophy style training, but you want to only do it a few sets of training. Okay, not too much, and only the last set of your exercise. So for example, if you're doing 4 sets of pull downs, you want to reach failure at your 4th set. The first few weeks, you do not want to hit failure at all. Alright, you want to gradually increase the weight, but you want to start off a little lighter than you actually can to make sure you keep progressing over time. If you start off with using too much weight, you will not be able to progress and you will hit a plateau. And also your central nervous system and your body needs some time to get used to the training frequency and a different style of training. So the first couple of weeks, let's say the first month, you do not really want to hit failure, maybe just 1 or 2 sets of training, but preferably not. And as far as the deloads go, usually it's 6 to 12 weeks. If you're just doing 6 days on, 1 day off, you might want to deload a little more often, maybe 6 to 8 weeks. But it also depends on how young you are, your activity, etc. If you don't know your body really well, just try to deload every 8 weeks. You definitely want to deload before your body starts giving signals that you have to deload, because then it's usually already too late. Your workouts start to slow down and you start to get very prone to injury, which is what we don't want anyhow. Alright, so I hope you guys got a basic understanding of the split right now. In my next 3 videos, I'm going to talk about all those days separately. Since we have 2 leg days, 2 push days, and 2 pull days, I'll put them both together in one video. So the 2 leg days will be in one video, the 2 push days in one video, the 2 pull days in one video. You get the point. So stay tuned for those videos. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see the full routine. Comment down below what you think, and please hit that like button down below. Thank you guys for watching, and see you with the next video.